This is Ty Metalhead Weatherman. I hope you guys are having a good start to the week. A little bit to go on about. For one, I said the next video that I was going to make was going to be a long range forecast, and that is going to happen, but this could turn into a longer video because A, I don't have the greatest setup when it comes to doing YouTube videos because I'm not in the best financial shape right now. Oh, in due time, we'll change that. But also, it's a lot going on, including some stuff in the tropics. We're gonna go over it all, so buckle your seatbelt. This could be a long video. I'm gonna try to do the best that I can and not make it that. So, first things first, we'll do what we always do here, and we will start with the severe weather threat for the week, and we'll even look at the fire threat as well. So, here's something that you can rejoice about right here. No organized severe thunderstorms forecast today. Thank the heavens, because geez, it just seemed like it would not end. And then the next couple of days are marginal risk as well. Nothing too crazy going on there. We will talk about it, but no warnings going on either. Today's a good day. So, now look at today's threat. Okay, nothing going on anything. We'll go to day 2. It's kind of almost a force of habit to actually look at day 1 with all that's going on. But we have a couple of marginal areas where we could have some scattered storms and potentially a pulse severe storm around these regions. I highly doubt this gets upgraded to a slight risk, but if it is, the main threat will most likely be wind and hail. The hail threat is more prevalent in the northern plains or up towards Milwaukee and parts of Iowa and Minnesota. Wind threat, that's when we have Montana, about central Montana I would say, in play, as well as the Wisconsin area, including also some corners of Minnesota and Iowa. I can't get that name out at all. Tornado threat, minimal. You love to see it. You gotta love it. And then we have a marginal risk area that pops up again, this time a little bit further to the west and in the northern plains. This is going to be the system that's coming out of Montana. So the Dakotas and Minnesota will be in play tomorrow. Pretty much the northern half of Minnesota. And then the central part or eastern parts of North Dakota and central and almost all of the northern half of South Dakota. Other than that, we have pretty much a chance for some chance of pulse thunderstorms, pop-up thunderstorms, popcorn thunderstorms, whichever one you want to call them, especially toward the south and east, as we have this little tropical system that's lurking off the Gulf, stirring up a lot of moisture and just dispersing it all around. So that's our day 3. Most likely a damaging wind threat up there. So we look at day 4, predictability is too low at the moment. And day 5, potential too low. I love seeing that. So, and day 6 as well, look at that, day 7. So days 4 and 8, we might be watching for some more development, from some more storms, I wouldn't say significant development, because like I said, the further we get into the summer, the more the severe weather threat starts to wane. We start to look more towards the tropics, and that sometimes brings its own severe weather with it. So it's pretty much all we got for the convective outlook as far as severe weather is concerned. We'll take a look at the fire threat, and as we can see in advance, not really a lot going on here. There's a threat for some dry thunderstorms in Utah here, so be on the lookout. And of course, there's an elevated threat towards the Sierra, so be very watchful of your burning, if you're burning leaves or any sort of debris piles of any sort, or if you're shooting off fireworks in advance of the 4th. Just be watchful of that. That's all I can really say there. And then we go towards day 2. It's gonna be more of the same. Dry thunderstorms possible around Utah again. And then The elevated fire danger kind of extends more towards the northern tier of Nevada, and then we also have the southern part of Oregon in play for that. So we'll go to days 3 through 8, and as of right now, predictability is too low for 3. For day 3, predictability is too low. There is, however, a dry thunderstorm threat around Nevada, and now there is also a dry thunderstorm threat, albeit a slight. Well, no, it's the same actually. It's 40. A little hard to see with the city over there, with the wording of Cheyenne over there. Of course, the city is not over there; it's over here, but the letters in the way. But around western Nebraska and some parts of northern Kansas, as well as a little corner of Colorado here, there's a threat for some dry thunderstorms. Definitely be watchful of that. Day 4, the probability is too low on 5, 6, and 7, and 8 as well. When we look at the days 3 through 8, there's no areas at the moment. So we'll have to, this is going to be something that'll be watched closely, because this can easily go the other way super fast. So now that we've gone over that, we'll close this out even just to make sure. And now we're going to talk about the tropics. We've now got an upgrade here. We're up to potential tropical cyclone 2. This is based off of the 5 p.m. AST. That's a new one for me. But the Atlantic, this is an Atlantic time zone, or I don't know. I have to do my research on that. I'm sorry. I'm trying to act like I know it. I don't. I'm just going to be honest. But this is a tropical system. Doesn't seem like it has a fully focused center of circulation just yet. But we do have winds at 35 knots, 40 miles per hour, and a central pressure of 1,009 millibars, and it's moving at a pretty good clip. It's moving at 18 miles an hour. There's a formation chance of 70% in the next 48 hours, and over 5 days, we're pretty much up to 90%. We're up to 90. Well, we're up to 90%, not pretty much. But this is essentially going to become Tropical Storm Bonnie. There was almost no doubt about it at this point. I mean, there's no other systems that could form a little bit faster, that could form much faster than it right now. And then, of course, we're going to talk about this system right here that's over towards the Gulf. It's hanging just south of Louisiana right now, and it's moving in a slightly odd direction. It's moving west-southwest, so Texas, look out. This is a disorganized area of showers and thunderstorms. Very low chance of development. There's a 10% chance in 48 hours, and then a 20% chance in 5 days or 120 hours. So this isn't nothing to write home to, but this is expected to definitely bring some unsettled weather towards Texas. A lot of these areas do need some rain. It's been pretty dry over there, so this is a good thing in a way. But now that we've gone over these, now we can go over this new area that we've picked up on here. So we've got this little tropical disturbance that's come off the west coast of Africa here. Like I said in my previous video, and a couple of previous videos actually, that this storm, that this region right here, the main development region, which is just off the west coast of Africa and around the Cape Verde region, was going to start to open up, and lo and behold, here we are. So gradually we're expecting this thing to increase in its chance of development as it moves west-northwest. And this thing has an interesting track. We're going to go to the 5 day here, because right now there's no chance of this thing developing as of right now from the looks of it. But over the next 5 days, the chance starts to go up. But I want you to take a little bit of I want you guys to take a better look at the track of that. We'll get to actually look at all 3 of these. So this is our potential tropical cyclone. We know where it's going, and I'll go a little bit further into detail with that. But here's where our next 2 areas of interest are. Our first one is right here. This is going to mainly be heading mostly towards southern Texas. Galveston, Corpus Christi. You guys might want to watch this a little bit close. Do I think this develops over here? Honestly, I'm leaning towards no, but I'm not ruling anything out. The Gulf is a hotbed right now. It's pretty much bath water. Not a lot of wind shear to go against it right now, but I just don't think it's gonna have enough time to get its act together. It's so disorganized to where you'd have to see this thing practically bomb out right now, like immediately almost. And here's our second area of interest right here. And this is moving a little bit further north of where a potential tropical cyclone 2 is. And what makes that significant is the fact that if you have a hurricane or any sort of tropical system following behind the trails of another tropical system, what ends up happening is that first tropical system will use up all will take up all that warm water and cause upwelling, bringing that colder water that's usually down at the lower levels of the ocean up towards the surface more, and thus cooling off the waters. And basically the next storm behind it won't have the same kind of juice to work with, basically, and the storm tends to be either be a little bit weaker or just not form at all. But up here where this storm is expected to go, the waters are relatively untapped, especially if you were to go further and further north, especially once we get past the Leeward Islands. Because when I tell you where this goes, you're gonna start to figure out, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I see it now. So I'm definitely gonna be watching this, the rearmost tropical system with a little bit more interest personally. Alright, so now let's look at potential tropical cyclone 2. And we're going to look at the pathway. So for right now, the main concern we have is towards the Windward Islands in northeastern Venezuela. This thing is expected to reach tropical storm status. I'm trying to get a better look at these. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can get a better picture of this. Not really. Well, wait, hang on a minute. Computer's a little bit wonky. Come on now. Alright. So we're looking mainly towards the port of Spain. Guess I'm giving out coverage to South America even. It's interesting. But we can clearly see here where our track is. And if you remember what I was saying about a minute or two ago about that other tropical system, it's kind of heading towards this Fort de France area here and heading towards San Juan, Santo Domingo, maybe scooting the areas to the south of the Dominican and Jamaica here. So you guys might want to watch out as well. But this is mainly going to be straddling the area between the Windward Islands and parts of South America as it's working its way towards Nicaragua. I don't know why I keep messing that up. But yeah, Nicaragua and Costa Rica, you guys need to watch out for sure. And if you're planning to take a vacation here, you might want to hold off. I'm not too certain of the intensity right now. I would say that depending on its land interaction will tell us a lot. There is a chance of this making hurricane by the end of this week as it heads closer towards Nicaragua and Costa Rica, especially as it's hanging north of the Panama Canal here. But this is so far out you can't really tell right now. There are some tropical storm warnings issued over here, and that's pretty much all I'm going to go over with that. So now that we've gone over the tropical system, we'll close this window out because I'm trying to see if there's any way I can save my computer from freezing and making this a 30-minute video. I already know this is probably running a bit long. Already at 14. Okay. So this is our height anomaly, and this time I have it set up to where we can actually see the low and high pressures this time. So here's a ridge here over the central U.S. hot as can be, and up towards the northeast, far northeast, it's actually cooler than average here. It's a nice little break for you guys, and then towards the northwest, things look, it's like a little trough that's developed, and it's causing for some cooler air to come in. You need this for more areas of the country, that's for sure. So now we're going to move this forward. That cold air is starting to win out in the northwest, but this ridge is starting to push off to the east. And one thing that I think this tropical system is doing for the southeast is it's kind of kicking that ridge off just a little bit, and it's causing for some cooler air to come in and actually balancing out our temperatures. The last couple of weeks in the southeast, we've been up into the 90s, triple digits. Now we're starting to get a little bit of a break here. So we're looking towards Wednesday, the middle of this week. We're just starting to move out, and there might be some cooler air ahead for a lot of other places now, which is a welcome sign, which is welcome news for a lot of people, myself included. Because remember, I work outside. I'm a landscaper outside of YouTube. But Northwest looks like it's getting, I wouldn't say chilly, but it's definitely below average, and I'm honestly kind of envious. But you guys look like you're gonna get some really comfortable weather. You might get some storms too, though, so we'll have to watch it real close. I'm also trying to keep a close eye on any storm systems that may be coming along here. Doesn't look like anything robust is coming. Mainly I'm concerned more next week in regards to my concerns next week kind of lie with Montana once again. But these aren't really robust storm systems, but hold on a minute. Once we get towards I'd say towards the 6th of July, we might have to watch for a storm system that rolls through the northern plains causing some storms, maybe some severe weather. And this works its way through the northern tier of the country, and then towards July 8th, I would say, July 7th, July 8th, I would say that things start to calm down, but then we have this player to deal with here. This is another tropical system developing. See, like I said, there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about in this video here. So we're going to see this be a fish storm as of right now according to the operational run. But then once we get out this, well, also the thing is, once we get out to about 200 something hours out, things get kind of wacky. I would love to see this scenario play out because that's cool temperatures for everybody, but I just don't see that. If it does, that would be very welcome. With almost the entire country is going to be below average, and it's rare that that happens. And as we get towards the central part of the month, things look like they might be cooler than average. Take this with a grain of salt, but there might be a cool down coming. And if that does happen, I'm here for it. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the radar could look like according to the GFS. And let's hope that my computer doesn't freeze here, because this is always when I run into trouble. So this is what we're looking like right about now. We have widespread pop-up thunderstorms around the southern and southeastern tier of the country, heading into the southern plains as well. We move this along, and here's our little tropical disturbance right here, working its way towards Texas, causing some rain over there, spreading moisture all the way out into the southeast. This looks like it really tries its hardest to form, but I just don't think it's going to do it. But it does seem like it wants to linger off the coast for a while. Uh-oh, I've clicked the wrong button here. Yep, we just made this a 20-minute video. Apologize. So we go towards Wednesday. This rolls its way in late Wednesday night into Thursday. At what intensity we don't know, but it works its way inland. And then all while that's going on, we do get this little upper level low system here around the around the northern part of the Four Corners. We'll have to watch that real close. Meanwhile, this is our storm that we're expecting to bring some marginal risk for severe weather the next couple of days. It moves its way up to Canada by Thursday afternoon, becomes less of a threat. And wait, here we go. By Friday, our tropical system's pretty well inland into Texas, and I'm almost kind of curious as to whether or not it will clash with this low pressure here and cause more disturbed weather. I would say not there. It might, but I don't think anything significant comes out of it because it's not even a strong system to begin with. But we do see increased activity around the southern part of the U.S. and eastern half of the country. Meanwhile, business really starts to pick up towards anyone east of the Rockies in particular. The Sierra, just a lot more rain in general. Mostly rain, maybe some dry thunderstorms as well. We'll have to watch that super close. As we get towards the 4th, it looks like the southeast might be in for some rain. Maybe some rain towards the far northwest, maybe Oregon and Washington State, you might have some rain ahead. Once we get towards Monday afternoon, come on, don't do that to me. There we go. Once we get towards the late evening hours, it looks like we have a fair shot at some of this clearing out, so we'll have a shot at getting some decent visuals of fireworks, but that depends on if the clouds move out along with the weather. So 50-50 shot here. Once we get towards the overnight hours, we do look like we get some storms popping up around the Four Corners region. And as time goes on, towards the 6th, here's that system I was talking about that may cause some weather around the northern plains, heading towards the Great Lakes in the UP. If this thing, and I'd love to show more if this thing wouldn't freeze up, I might start trying to use tropical tidbits from now on because I don't know why this thing does what it does with me. This actually looks like a moderately robust system as well. I was hoping that closing that window would help, but it seems like it's not. I do apologize. Okay. So we are getting somewhere. Here's our little tropical disturbance right here. That's about a week out from. We're looking at about maybe 10 days out from now. May cause some impacts for the Antilles region, for the Antilles and maybe Hispaniola, but hard to say with it being this far out. We're getting to about 200 hours, so things can get a bit wacky. On the 7th, on the 6th and heading into the 7th, it looks like we get some unsettled weather around the northeast for sure, and then on the Ohio Valley region as well. And this looks like mostly just pop-up storms. We'll have to watch for the increased swells and rip current and increased tide around the weekend after the 4th, I would say, about maybe 14 days out. Also, I'll keep an eye on this too, just to make sure this thing doesn't change track, but I don't see this thing at this time being a land-impacting storm. Maybe towards Bermuda at the most. This does look like it makes a close pass though, as of right now, so I will be watching that with increased interest. Looks like we go into this kind of semi-active weather pattern towards the end of the model run for the first half of July. It'll be interesting to see how that all pans out. But one other thing I'm gonna look at here, and this will be the last thing, and hopefully this will behave much better than the GFS, and that will be the flash rate density. Gee, this could very well be a 30-minute video. I can't remember the last time I've done that, and I don't want to. But no real surprises here in the areas where we're expecting thunderstorms. No surprise to see a lot of lightning. Also, again, Utah, you guys might want to be extra watchful. These are going to be dry. There's a chance of these being dry thunderstorms. So the fire danger will be on the rise. Beyond that, though, with the exception of a little bit of severe weather around the northern plains or maybe the northern mountainous regions of the country, it's just your typical pop-up thunderstorms. You can't rule out a chance of one or two of those going severe. But it's just it's summer. I mean, what more can you say? The chance of storms isn't super high around the southeast, but I do think there will be a lot of cloud cover. We'll go over the forecast details of the fourth probably by this weekend. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. Alright. So we've gotten towards the end of this model run. We're about 10 days out. And we'll be watching the Ohio Valley on the 7th for some possible severe weather. Definitely some increased thunderstorm coverage, and maybe even toward the Central Plains based off the Euro model. So, just a quick recap of everything. If you're in Utah, watch out for some dry thunderstorms. If we're in Texas here, we got to look out for a potential tropical system. Most likely just going to bring a lot of rain, maybe some gusty winds, and a chance for some flash flooding. Towards the southeast, and well, really the eastern half of the country, we're going to start pushing towards maybe even potentially lower than average, cooler than average, and mainly towards the central part of the country, there might be some relief on the way. I'll follow up on this video, of course, but if the first half of July is cooler than average like what I saw here, a lot of you, and myself included, will be jumping for joy. Well, in the meantime, that's all I got for you guys as far as weather's concerned. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry that this one got dragged out the way it did, partially because of the GFS, but it was still a lot to talk about here. Don't mind it though. Also, I have a second channel, especially in anyone that's into music, particularly heavy extreme metal. I have that on the in-video screen here. I'll have my most recent video from that channel up here as well. So give that a look, support that channel. But this has been Ty Metalhead Weatherman. Extra emphasis on the metalhead part. And I hope you guys have a nice rest of your Monday.